Iranian rapper Tumaj Salehi jailed over anti-government protests. An Iranian rapper who backed anti-government protesters last year has been jailed for 6 years and 3 months, his lawyer and supporters say. Tumaj Salehi, 32, was found guilty of corruption on earth but spared execution, Rosa Etemad Ansari said. Mr. Salehi was arrested during protests over the death of Mahsa Amini, 22, who had been arrested by morality police for not wearing a headscarf. There was no immediate comment from the Iranian government. Mr. Salehi's lawyer said that his client had been cleared of insulting the supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and communicating with hostile governments. The charge of corruption on earth, however, is one of the country's most serious offenses covering insults against Islam and carries a possible death sentence. The sentencing of Mr. Salehi comes after months spent in solitary confinement in Dastard prison, in central Iran. He was subjected to a series of closed court sessions that were criticized by rights groups. His lawyer told the Sharq newspaper that her client was transferred to the general section of the prison following his sentencing, news that was confirmed by a supporter running Mr. Salehi's Instagram page. Mr. Salehi was among the tens of thousands of mostly young Iranians who protested over the death of Ms. Amini. The rapper also shared clips of his songs supporting the movement. Human rights activists said hundreds of people were killed and thousands arrested for rioting in the demonstrations that spread across the country, which the regime said was fomented by foreign agents. 7 men have been executed in protest-related cases, the AFP news agency reports. In an interview with CBC News days before his arrest, Mr. Salehi said posting videos critical of the regime was hard, because you are making yourself a target for the regime forces. He said that those in power were a mafia that is ready to kill the entire nation, in order to keep its power, money and weapons. The rapper was first arrested in September 2021, after his songs about corruption, poverty, executions and violence against protesters went viral. He was released on bail after a week, amid widespread condemnation of his arrest. South Africans marvel at snow and sleet in Johannesburg during cold snap. People have woken up to snow and sleet in South Africa's biggest city, Johannesburg, for the first time in over a decade. South Africans are being warned to keep warm as a cold front sweeps across most of the country. No major disruptions have been caused by the snowfall at this stage, a spokesman for the South African Weather Service, SAWS, has told the BBC. Cold weather conditions are expected to continue through the week. Many people in Johannesburg on Monday seem enchanted by the rare sight of snow in their city. Some of the pupils and I went out to explore. Some of them had seen snow before whereas others thought it was raining, says primary school teacher Agnes Medeva. Domestic worker Nobukosi Stompy told the BBC she traveled through the snow on her way to work, and had never seen anything like it. We're keeping warm indoors so we're fine, says caretaker Billy Nkumalo. Snow was everywhere, covering the fields near our neighborhood. It was really beautiful to see. As winter begins in the southern hemisphere nation, meteorologists are keeping a close eye on developments. Snow has been reported in a number of provinces including the Eastern Cape, Mpumalanga and the Gauteng region, which includes Johannesburg and Soweto. Weather experts have advised initiation schools in the Eastern Cape to be extra vigilant over the next week as they keep watch over hundreds of teenage boys undergoing traditional circumcision rites on isolated mountainsides across the province, a practice seen as a rite of passage into manhood amongst the Xhosa ethnic group. Farmers are also being advised to provide shelter for their livestock during the cold spell. It is not clear what role climate change has played in the rare snowfall.